Right, so yeah, I've been up for, is it 2.5 hours now? Because it's like, it's just too hot to sleep with this kind of heat. But yeah, after roughly 12:30, like the sun stops hitting the floor right over there around the so that's kind of a nice place to just have a smoke and all that. And just hang in the heat. Because, yeah, I'm not gonna... I don't want to sit directly in the heat. Yesterday, by the way, it was plenty of hot. And when I went out for groceries later, after the show, like, people are swimming in the river, like everywhere. I basically took the route past the river and it's like everywhere, like literally everywhere across the river. People were just in it swimming because it was pretty damn hot. Now I don't really see them swimming out. They might just later on or something. Like it's just too hot. I think most people are just looking up their basements or something. Just finding places that aren't so freaking hot, because it is everywhere, the wind being almost non-existent. Moderate high temperature warning. Yeah, well, for today, I mean 33 degrees. Yeah, it does say though, oh, it's gonna go down back to 21 tomorrow. But then again, it's saying it's gonna be cloudy and rainy today. Right now, I never really get these predictions. Like, in the main picture, it's a full sun, 33 degrees. Then below, it's like every day of the week. And there it's like a cloud with rain, 33 degrees. What? What does that mean? I mean, the idea is nice, but I mean, maybe later on it's gonna change around to a storm or something. That would be kind of great, actually. But I mean, the way it's looking right now, I don't see it happening. I think I forgot to show. So overcome by the heat, I'm forgetting my routines. Right, this is the way it's looking out there. Bright. Definitely see heat waves coming off the roof side. The cam's not going to pick that up. The wind being almost non-existent. Moderate high temperature warning. Yeah, well, for today, I mean 33 degrees. Yeah. It does say though, oh, it's gonna go down back to 21 tomorrow. But then again, it's saying it's gonna be cloudy and rainy today. Right now, I never really get these predictions. Like, in the main picture, it's a full sun, 33 degrees. Then below, it's like every day of the week. And there it's like a cloud with rain, 33 degrees. What? What does that mean? I mean, the idea is nice, but I mean, maybe later on it's gonna change around and turn into a storm or something. That would be kind of great, actually. But I mean, the way it's looking right now, I don't see it happening. I think I forgot to show. So overcome by the heat, I'm forgetting my routines. Right, this is the way it's looking out there. Bright. Can definitely see heat waves coming off the roof side. Yeah, the cam's not going to pick that up, but my eyes definitely pick that up, like heat distortions. Birds are definitely using the water that I put out. I mean, yesterday alone I was refreshing that thing like, I think like 4 or maybe even 5 times. I'm gonna refresh that thing right after the show. But I don't know how long the show is gonna be. Maybe not super long this time. On the other hand, the more time passes, the more it cools down here and becomes more doable. So that's kind of how the Flat Earth Early Bird show works in summertime. It always starts out with it's so hot, and then it's just like gradually recover and intellectually wake up. Brain starts functioning again. Right, I mean, the only way to prevent that is by having like a brutal airco system or something, air conditioning. But I mean, to have that on would make a ton of noise. So I'm just using this thing occasionally. The interesting thing is, like, this doesn't work if I'm not sweating. I'm still gonna be hot even if I'm not sweating. But then I drink a bit of coffee, and then I'm definitely gonna be sweating. I know this from experience. Anyway, cheers. It tastes so intense when it's hot. Does anybody else out there like notice that foods and spices, they work differently when there's different temperatures? Have you ever noticed that? Sometimes they can even like taste differently. It's because like at a higher heat, there's things just kind of like change around a bit, and then it like, yeah, it just, you know what it is, but it's tasting different because it's hot. And then eventually you get used to it, but I mean, it is adapted to that different setting, which is when it's hot. And then if it cools down, you might be like reacquainted again. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, that's how it tastes like when it's not hot. I don't know, maybe this is just me, but I'm just really fascinated by that sort of thing. It's kind of like my personal biologist's pathologist or like behavioral psychologist. Like, that is what I'm really interested in like the rhythms of things and how aware are people. Like there's people out there that I've met in my life that have great instincts with this. And they don't even seem to be super upfront in their consciousness interested in the stuff. It's just they're like doing whatever their thing is, and then suddenly like, oh, this and that and that, and then like, oh, whoa, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Sounds ancient wisdom like or something. And then they like, yeah, I mean that's what my mother would say or something. A lot of people are not super conscious about these things. I am like really fascinated with it. Always have been since I was. It's basically the initial exploration of reality around me. It's like people's responses and like, where does the information come from? I mean, that was always like, where is that idea coming from? Why does this person get this type of ideas and then accompany with this energy, and that other person does not? And it's like alien to them. Like that is like, that was always staring me in the face. It's like the spiritual metadata basically that I was looking at. And like why was I looking at it? Because I saw it. And I'm noticing other people don't see it. And even that I notice that is weird. I can tell. It's like a system that's just handed down to me. Right? Where did I get that insight from? It's a part of my spiritual framework. It seems to be centered around all that, which is really like very about the upfront experience of things. Like how the consciousness responds and evades things, how it deals with pain, and like how sometimes pain can be confronted with meaning and then transformed, and other times you can't. And people usually don't really know why. So it's also a thing that we're a slave to because we don't understand it. Right. And it is a part of my personal struggle of like spiritual autonomy. Like you have to know how things work, what's gonna happen, if you want to be in a societally, in a psychologically risky balance of isolation from society, of basically being in a position where you don't really know how to connect anymore, and neither do they. But you still gotta get along. I think this is called estrangement. Like that is a complicated thing. It changes everything. Right? Because once you get that, it doesn't matter how wise the things are that come rolling out of you. It's always like, I guess it's sort of like stares people in the face or something. I think that's maybe what's sort of happening. Well, yeah, no, it's not maybe. I'm getting retarded. I'm getting slowed down in my thinking from the heat. And that sip of coffee. And I need a fan. Oof. Yeah. Alright, but in my life, greatest challenge was always the unspoken. Because I would just be somewhere among people and then literally not talk. And it's like people would have entire sublingual communications with me that I wasn't even realizing were happening. which is really weird. Like accidental telepathy without people even realizing it. Something like that. It's been a problem. Because then, even when I just really don't actively stand out, people get irritated by me somehow. And I've had this since I was a very little kid, and I thought, of course, initially, like, oh, how do I survive this? That's how it started as a kid. How do you just survive that? Like, that is dangerous for a child to have that response and be dangerous, like literally for threatening to your life continuation. And then I kind of got a teenager. It kind of dropped away a bit. Because in like a teenager, and that's like a sort of the thing you can sort of hide behind. Like if there's something weird about you, then people can just like, oh, it's just a teenager, and yeah, they can get weird. But I mean, I was always weird, and I remained weird even after. Right, but when I say weird, it's not even that I'm really strange somehow and like totally alien. It's rather like the choices that I've made are so unusual. And like, I'll defend that. And that's, yeah. And people probably wonder, like, why do I even do that? I don't know, it's like the thing that makes it worth it to me. It's like true exploration. Looking where nobody looks. I mean, it's part of finding the way through. It's looking in between. Right? People are bickering. Why are they bickering? Because of a conflict. Okay, well, look in between. I mean, in my humble opinion, like that's like what Jesus would do. And so it's like a good thing. It creates solutions. Like solutions in mental, spiritual dynamic. It's not even like, oh, there is a problem. Oh, I fixed the problem. No, because often fixing the problem is not actually fixing the problem. Because the real problem is like the mindset people are in, and the reason why they need that particular problem fixed. That's the problem. That's also looking in between, right? Like, why is the problem a problem? What's the mindset that's behind all that? Like, how do you know things develop? How do you know what is hidden underneath, behind the defenses? How can you tell it would never show itself? How could you tell it would never simmer down and basically drop some of the defenses because it can truly be perceived to be safe? No. Like, a lot of the times it is there, and it's like, this is also something that Jesus realized, but that is the reason, like, why you have to, like, pray for your enemy and love your enemy. It's because underneath it, they are people, and they're probably being an enemy for a specific reason. If you can help them resolve that reason as to why they're your enemy, then they're not your enemy. They could theoretically, conditionally, be your greatest allies. Or at least, instead of a detriment, a benefit. It's just methodical. It's the way of looking at it. And you can't force yourself to do it, but you can realize that just hating on something is not just wrong because Jesus said it. No, it's wrong because it is, like, it has a certain set of consequences. It does things. It draws you into a frequency where things work differently and you lose grasp. And you'll definitely shift away in priority from subtle things that in reality really matter, but they do not to that mindset. To the dark mindset. And that's why seeking peaceful solutions, following the Christ methodology, is like the only real durable result. It's very tangible. Right. Getting inspired. Ugh. And getting hot, so there's that. I hope everybody out there is having a great day. It does seem to be cooling down now. The sun is no longer hitting the wall. Thank God. Now that I got a bit of shade, it really is a beautiful day. But I wouldn't mind if the wind picked up a bit. And look, here it goes. Can you guys hear the wind through the mic? Whistling of the leaves. What is that called? How do you say that? When leaves in wind make a certain sound, what is that called? Rustling. Oh, but that's dry leaves. Whispering sound of leaves. Wow, I didn't know there's all these words for it. Alright, not whistling, because I mean that's rustling. Okay. Fascinating, all these different words. Like, I literally had to look it up, not because of like my English is so bad. No, I don't even know the word in Dutch, guys. I would have to Google it just as much. It's like, there's so many different little subtle words for this certain sounds and things, and it's just very expensive. Right, hope everybody out there is having a great day. was this crazy ass debate yesterday on the Alex Jones show, and Alex got some moderator and he got all involved in it. It was a mess. But it was a debate between Dinesh D'Souza and Nick Fuentes. And it was very strange. It was like kind of good in ways and like really bizarre in others. They didn't go full-blown triggered nonsense gamma fighting or anything, but they were pretty uptight but restrained in ways. But it was still there. It's like a more civilized gamma off or something. It was weird. And I mean, it was basically sort of like a debate about MAGA and about what Trump's doing in Iran. Like the whole thing surrounding Iran. And in the end, I mean, I watched a bit of it. I did kind of really agree a lot with Nick Fuentes. But yeah. Right, I mean, it wasn't unlistenable. Although, yeah, I mean, Alex butted in a lot, and that kind of like was irritating. But other than that, like the actual back and forth was pretty decent and insightful. They both definitely did their homework. Even though they were trying to like, Dinesh D'Souza was like continually like trying to gaslight Nick. Basically like, oh, you're not really that informed. And like, oh, and you are with these points. I was kind of I think they did not like bring up at all like, hey, maybe nukes aren't even real. I wish Nick Fuentes would like just, it would be so epic. I mean, not that I'm really invested or anything, but I mean, it would be pretty epic if he just like were to me made to realize it like, no, look, it's not all just theater. It's like, it's a geopolitical mind control tool, and all involved, like they know it's necessary in a way to do that in order to get people's attention in the face of growing war, right? It's like a psychological tool effectively to prevent full-out world war. That's how it was used in the Cold War, and it's how it's kind of been used ever since. But then, I mean, they start to, oh, we have to prevent them from, we attack them because weapons of mass destruction. And that's really the thing that's now just abusing it. In a way, the mind control operation with nukes worked successfully. And now it's being abused for conquest. That has to be recognized. So you either nip that in the bud, or you have to reconcile that nukes as a geopolitical control strategy is becoming outdated because it's being used in a corrupted way. Right? If it was there to prevent all the devastation by showing an example of how it could easily become devastated, then yeah, I mean, that's a great preventative. But when then wars still start to happen and cities still get torn apart, seems like it's not really doing its job then. Right? If it is psychologically a war preventative, well then it's not. It seems to have run its course. It's starting to be ignored. Right? And there's no point even in now from the perspective of that they are indeed in it together to as like a theater. Like you can't reestablish it. Like you're gonna like basically be at peace and then do a sort of like Manhattan Project 2 and like show nuke-like demonstrations again? Just to like really put it in our minds, no, this is real, right? A warehouse of dynamite with the magnesium flash and just show it, like, and then all the people with their mobile phones hiding behind a concrete wall and just like taking shots of it all at once, and it's like, oh yeah, this is definitely real. And some of the phones, I don't know, maybe they do something like an EMP. Maybe like that just had like a giant pile of dynamite might just have an EMP effect by its own volition. Maybe the shockwave. I don't know. I'm not an expert at that sort of thing. But you would have to establish that it would be real again in order to basically shut up those flat earthers and the nukes are fake, right? So that everybody can be afraid again. But I mean, that only works when everybody plays along. Yeah? If there is basically a war between the groups, like what, you're gonna blow up your own thing? Blame it on the other? I mean, it could be as crazy as that it's basically just like, no. Yeah, the missile is just for props, right? It's just like, no, we have nuclear warfare, and to make it real, both sides agree that the cities that are targeted, you will have a giant warehouse of dynamite ready for when that moment happens, so that there will be that giant explosion, so that the people in the world will be convinced that there really is nuclear war. Literally blowing up cities, their own cities, just to make it real. Which, when you think about it, is like the most crazy idea you could possibly think of. But I mean, look at the people out there right now. You think that they wouldn't be that crazy? With where their spirit has been moving around in the frequencies that they dwell upon, you think that it's really that outrageous? I mean, yeah, from a sane perspective, it is totally insane. It's like Joker level, like Batman Joker level insanity. But are we not basically already there? And if we're already there, if the mindset's already there, then what made it that? What made the mindset go there? Just pure dilapidation? Or was it an evil intent that was always there and people just gotten closer to it? To the thing that was already there from the start, because it is a system that they use. As insane and devious as it sounds. Yeah? A conspiracy to just... international conspiracy to fake nukes, which includes agreeing to blow up your own city when a nuke is launched at it. Right? Maybe not cities, but I mean, they could. But military bases, I mean, that's really easy to do that. Right? I mean, it's all off limits for people, and so the military can just basically stockpile a bunch of explosives, and it's just like not tell nobody, and then like nobody know, it becomes classified, and then when the missiles get launched, oh, guess what blows up? Oh no, they sent a nuke. Oh, like the soldiers that are at the base don't even have to know that. They would just know, like, no, one day nuclear warfare will break out, and then this would probably be a target and be blown off the map. Are you ready to sign up for that, son? Right? So they'd just be thinking, they wouldn't know that they're literally standing on a warehouse full of dynamite. It's not going to be dynamite, literally, it's too volatile, but giant stockpile of explosives, warehouse full of it, specifically to do that. Like, they wouldn't ever know. Maybe the original people that put it there were ordered to stockpile it and keep it a secret, and they would be wondering, like, why? Why is this, what is this explosive for? Isn't that dangerous to put it all together? Yeah. Strange. And that's it. Non-disclosure form, right? With probably really serious consequences if they said anything about it. Maybe some of them figured it out, like, this is insane. Right? It could be real. But it could, yeah, it could be real in the sense that that conspiracy could be real if at the top the people are indeed crazy and dedicated enough, sworn oaths to it, as it were, on their life and everything, their soul, right? Then they might just like feel they have to do that under no matter the cost. Things get crazy with like these weird underground conspiracy. Like the Freemasons get pretty nutty already, and that's like the surface stuff that is pretty much in the general public's view. Like they can very easily notice that that's there. It's getting flaunted even in the media and all that. So. Right. But in a way, I hope actually that what could also have happened, and now it's superbly surreal. Imagine everything that I just said. There's these crazy, basically robber barons that are like, we're gonna mind control the fuck out of the people to the extent that we'd be willing to blow up our own cities just to make a point. That missile that was launched at us, everybody could see that it is a nuke and it's real. What if that was back then? And I mean, look at the devils that are around in control in the world in the early 20th century. They were all maniacs. It's not just Hitler. They could have definitely, they had that frequency where they would go there. Would be that nasty secret devil and like, ha ha ha. Yeah, they are crazy enough to do that. What if that really was the original plan? And then, after the decades, the newer generation kind of like started to figure it out, sort of. And we're like, this is a sap. They wouldn't know why. They wouldn't be informed about why they do it. Like, why would you stockpile dynamite to simulate a nuke? No, but they would just say like, oh, there's these explosives here. This is really dangerous. Like, we figured this out. We gotta prevent that. And then they evacuated it. And they were like, that was an attempt at sabotage. Right? The communists tried to sabotage us or something. because the original people that organized it, they were basically like old, and they maybe even decided like, you know what, maybe we shouldn't do this. We're getting regrets or so. I mean, even the craziest of robber barons eventually has some kind of consciousness shine through on them, and if they're really if they've been really nasty, then that's a huge suffering they go through. But sometimes it makes them change their minds about wicked schemes. So what if the newer generations basically just kind of discovered it? Like, oh, this is a sabotage attempt. They take care of it, make sure like, okay, let's not stockpile explosives here under this military base. Like, duh. And then it's forgotten. Maybe those people that planned it decided to not even tell those that they're handing it over to that it's not real. Maybe they didn't even tell them. And so there's the instructions on how to build it, how to maintain the nukes, and protocols, and how you check things. And they all think it's real. If that is what's actually going on, and it's not there still people in control that know that it's fake and they will blow up the cities because of that original maniacal conspiracy, but they all have these missiles that it's being used geopolitically under the assumption that it will work, that it will blow that shit up. But now, if they send those missiles according to the schedule, all it'll do, it'll just like go down, blow up a little bit, maybe create a bit of a dirty bomb or something. But I mean, it's gonna be very small scale comparatively to what you would think of a nuke. It just go boom and then that's it. And everybody will be like, wait, that what? That's it? Why? Yeah, because the warehouse full of explosives have been evacuated. And that was the other component in order to make it real in people's minds. But the people that are basically carrying out the plan already diffused it without even realizing it. And so all the nukes might go off and then it'll literally be a dud. Like, that's a thing that could happen. I think that if it ever gets to the point where it's like the mad doctrine and oh, everybody fires the missiles, oh my god, it's the end of the world. Well, I think that if that happens, then what I just said will happen. All these missiles will go all over the place and they will do a bit of damage and that's it. And not everything is blown up. Everybody will be shitting their pants though, I mean, in anticipation. Right? That's what I think. If that ever happens. And in the meantime, out of the conspiracy of nukes and that I think they're fake and how they would fake it and why and how that all works, because that's what I just laid down, you gotta realize that there is just plenty of like terrifying, destructive things that can be done with the weaponry that exists. Like giant bombs that are really gigantic and like horrifying. Like they are basically like mini nukes, as powerful as they are. And it's super devastating. And I mean, and then there's fire bombs, the thing that nobody really talks about anymore because I think it's supposedly illegal. Like just like chemical weapons, like you're not supposed to do that. But I mean, firebombing is what they used in Japan and then made it into the psyop of a nuke. Just look at that shit. I mean, firebombing is just absolutely brutal. And that's a thing that existed over 100 years ago, guys. Yeah? It's like, oh my god, a nuke, oh! dude, there is absolutely horrifying destruction of war, weapons of mass destruction. That probably, there's probably bombers filled, or like, with plenty of those fire bombs that are just stored somewhere all over the place. Like, so even if you think like, oh my god, nukes, and then wait, what? Nukes that's not actually real, it's a mind control op? Then still realize that they could still absolutely fuck up and burn everything down with the weapons that exist, that do actually exist. You always have to realize that. Just because nukes are fake doesn't mean that, oh, that means there is no war. Oh yeah, there is war, there is destruction, absolutely. And unfortunately probably will be for a while, and it even looks like there may be some serious larger scale weaponry besides just explosives that are emerging, that are getting all these cover stories, like meteor guns, and all the science fiction is going loose with it. And those, in my view, are basically cover stories for, well, for actual weaponry. And I mean, one of these weaponries would be DEWs, which are kind of like short-ranged, relatively. Can't really use them as some kind of super weapon at a large distance. But I mean, I think that those, with just the radio frequency weapons, weather influencing, just weather influencing, but other things too. Like, radio frequency can be used to heal people, and it can be used to do exactly the opposite. There's already so many devastating possibilities and technologies as to how things could be wrecked. It's just right there, and it's developed, that are not nukes. Oh, OBS is giving me a red light. Hope everybody appreciates the show. Right, so now it's in the title. Hope everybody appreciates the show. I'm not having a lot of visitors. Do have a Rogan's up, that's nice. 49 minutes in, I definitely feel very energized. It's really cooling down, and even the coffee's not giving me a heat rash or anything. I also feel like I said even yesterday, like I thought I was getting sick. I think I'm getting out of it. Like the hyper focus, it's really telling. Like it's all part of it. Right? And I mean, I even remember telling everybody that on my shows in the last decade, is that every time I got sick, or like almost sick, like it doesn't really even have to be like full-blown sick with fever, but when I just like get on that edge and I like get a little sniffy, but not because I don't know, because of smoking or whatever, but because of something, right? Where it's just like getting sour or something, and then it's like I risk getting sick, and then I just pay careful attention, and then I don't get sick. But then I still have the moment of clarity right after, because always when I get sick afterward, it's like I feel really clear-minded. And that happens every time after I get sick. When I get better. But even when I prevent really getting sick, fully getting all the symptoms that you might get, then I still get the moment of clarity after that. And it lasts for a while. It actually lasts longer when I didn't get sick. When I didn't really get sick hard. It lasts longer. And so I'm experiencing that right now. Being more inspired. Right, and yeah, about the fake nuke conspiracy, to me it's really fascinating because I take it very serious. Like, I mean, it's a world stage thing. Like, it is serious one way or the other. But I think it's a set of tricks that may have even been partially diffused. Why? Because the original conspirators, as part of their plan, decided to basically not inform the people that manage the weapons that it's not real. Right? But then when the magician's trick preparations, stockpiles of explosives, when that's figured out, that may be diffused. Follow-up generation might be like, yeah, we're not gonna do that, and not even realizing why that's happening. Again, they might think this is some kind of sabotage, like a scorched earth policy thing or something. Like, oh, as soon as the other, like, they'll blame the other political parties even. Go that direction, say like, oh, they're leaving a scorched earth package where we get control back, and see it like that and not even realize, like, no, that's part of like the nuke plan. Because when you'd have to say that, it's like, what does that mean? That's crazy. That's even crazier. Right? So it's like the people that use the nukes might not be informed that it's not real, as part of the original strategy from the people who conceived it. Right? You just follow the instructions, you get the scientists who know how it's supposed to work and the math, and you fabricate the device. And then you just think you have a nuke and you could launch it, and then the explosive part, which are a part of it, there is literal explosive in nukes to compact it and all that. Yeah, that will go off and it'll have a bomb. But it's not then gonna go critical mass and actually give a nuke explosion. Because that part never worked. Thank God. Thank God it does not. Right. So that's how I see it. Like, if there is animosity, we can't use some illusion to keep each other out of each other's hair. It's gotta be real. You gotta face this. You gotta deal with all the hostilities. You gotta use human strength to bring peace. Yeah, peace through strength is through the human strength. It's not the weapons. through character, through wisdom, through being inspiring, through bringing durable trust. And principled decision making, de-escalatory. Alright. So yeah, that's the first hour of the Flat Earth Early Bird Show today. Hope everybody liked that. If you ever wanna get into like fake nukes, what about that stuff? This is going to be that show. This is going to be the show you want to share with somebody who really wants to know about that. Right? I mean, besides like, oh, I don't think it's fake yet. Okay, well, just look at the footage that supposedly demonstrates the nukes. Like, I'm not even gonna show that. And it's like not necessary because it's very easy to just Google, right? I mean, for example, I could say, ever seen those hydrogen bomb explosions on the old footage? Devastating, with the classical music, of course, to make it even more impactful, right? Propaganda. But just look at that. Look at the hydrogen bomb explosion. You know why they call it a hydrogen bomb? Why they decided that? Yeah, it's not because of the supposed math. Or maybe it is, but when they tricked it, you know how they tricked that? They made a really slowed down footage of an explosion underwater. It's literally a slowed down underwater explosion what you're looking at with that particular footage from the hydrogen bomb. That's their trick. The trick is hydrogen, water, right? It's literally an explosion underwater. That's what's done, and they overlay it over the back, over the, as like the backdrop over a little set. I mean, it is sophisticated film trickery. I mean, you gotta give them an A for effort. Like, they did actually make effort to be really careful, to be really convincing, and they chose the music very carefully, etc. Like, it's like, yeah, it's serious work. And now in these days, I mean, they don't need that anymore. It's like, it's popularized. It's like popularized in video games. People are like, oh, the ultimate destruction. I want to have the nuke. And oh, my enemy, beep, boom, ha ha ha. Like in video games, it's so typical. It's like people want it because they use it for their petty revenge schemes or dominance schemes in their video games and all that. And so they need it to be real. Because they want that power, even if just simulation. Right? And the CGI out there, I mean, they do a pretty good job. I mean, it does look like pretty real. You can still tell though. I mean, it's just not real. It doesn't, thank God, it just doesn't actually exist. And we'll get to see a lot of CGI nukes, but it will always be there, kind of like pushed in your face as to give extra weight to this threat of escalating war, of upping the ante, of going to larger scale type weaponry, more destructive, like nukes. Oh, just hey, urgency! This could get out of hand, right? It's just used as to get people's attention. But it will never really happen. Because it doesn't exist. And thank God for that. But if it's really super real in your mind and you know that eventually it will happen and oh my god, the nightmare and the radioactivity and yeah, well now you created a nightmare inner world. Because you made it real to your inner world. The devastation has happened to you in your inner world, in how you see the future now. That's where the real damage is done. I don't allow that to happen because I trust God. And I don't think that God allows weapons to exist that are so destructive that it would destroy everything and make everything uninhabitable. I think that if any such weapons would really come into being, that it will have unexpected side effects and it will just cause a reset or something. It would just have the Atlantean effect, as it is widely understood. Just too big a scale weapons, somehow too much power, and abusing it, it will have unforeseen side effects, and then literally trash absolutely everything. Bring a giant unbalance in the weather systems, the energy distribution systems of the realm design. And then, I don't know, cause another flood? Or giant electro storms that never end and all electronics is just completely obliterated for years. Unexpected shit can happen when you really scale up energy and power forces. So never underestimate that. Right. Oh, the wind's picked up. Oh, you can hear that? You can hear the whistling, the wrestling. What was it again? Wrestling. Just, yeah. Of the leaves. Can you hear that? Brilliant. Oh, great. I'm gonna stand outside for a bit and just, oh. Thank you, weather Jews. You're the best. I asked for wind, and there it is. You guys are the best. Whoever's in control of that weather system, I think you're doing a great job. Please keep up the low amounts of chemtrails, because those suck. And people know what they are, it's demoralizing. Just don't do it. The way you've been doing it, keep that up. Oh, delightful. Oh, it's really rocking. Sheesh. Or maybe this is the rainstorm coming or something. Just tell. Yeah, the sky is kind of clouding up. Just look at this. Oh, that changed around quickly. Look at how those trees are shaking. See them shaking? It's great. And it's not super hot either. It's it is kind of a cool breeze. So thank you, whatever made that happen. That's great. Ah, what a relief. Yeah, you can definitely see that on the video. Yeah, yesterday it was really hot too. I actually took an extra cold shower, and oh my god, was that great. That was great. Just no soap or anything, just the cold water, and I mean that was absolutely delightful. Really. I don't know if I'm gonna need that today, but alright, hope everybody out there is having a great day, whatever you're doing. Get back to politics for a bit. It seems like there is like real serious problems with the whole Trump administration. It's like the cohesion is really falling apart. It's like Trump is holding on to the Republican format, but I mean it with everything that he's done and how he's arranged it and all the anti-Semitism stuff. Like, he is just a neocon. It's like he made that a part of his strategy, and it's like it's the worst choice he could have ever made. And I don't think he can step away from it. Kind of similar to the whole Project Warp Speed. Oh, that was a disaster, and you can't step away from it either. And I mean, it's fucked. I think it's FUBAR, guys. I think it's over. And I'm not alone. Elon Musk seems to think so, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna form my own party. So, I mean, and I mean, this could get really interesting. I mean, I can imagine even people are like, and Alex Jones is like, oh my god, oh, the Democrats are gonna win. They're dividing us and they're gonna win that because of this. And I mean, he might be right. But still got RFK. I think RFK could actually run as a Democrat, as he did last time. And win. And really win. Because he's now got actual backing, because he's really done these health things that a lot of original liberals, like old-fashioned liberals and not the new crazies, like they are really agreeing with that and like would back him. Like, whoa, this guy's real. He actually did all that. So even though Trump is basically just shot in his own foot with his decisions, not all might be lost. RFK could actually take it over and kind of like maybe even heal some of the left side, bring it back to what it is supposed to be. A bunch of hippies. Remember that? Remember when the left, right? No more war, no more love, peace, and oh, feminism. Yeah. Well, I think it's gonna be a little bit more old-fashioned. I mean, the crazies are going to be out there, but I think RFK could actually take the presidency as a Democrat and not totally trash the place. And potentially even not partake in this Israel stuff. Actually do what everybody expected Trump to do, and that is stay out of it, no more war. I mean, RFK, I mean, it could happen that they give him a deal he can't resist, and then he does it anyway, because it's just getting severely threatened. But I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm talking about the future now, not even from a vision perspective. But I did see some things that RFK has more roles to play. I mean, he's doing really well out there. He had a mission, and he's doing it. And he's not allowing himself to get distracted away from that mission. And that's admirable. Like, that's what people want the politicians to actually do. Get elected for certain election promises and directions, and then when you get elected, actually do those things exclusively if possible. And not suddenly change course because of some urgent other thing, right? Right. And I mean, to be fair, this break, this division, the split in the MAGA movement has really reinvigorated a lot of people that get power back, get confidence back, are reinvigorated in their original MAGA, personal MAGA mission, right? Because it's not about the elected people, it's about the people that elect, right? Should I put? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's gonna probably rub a whole bunch of people the wrong way. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. It's about the people that elect, not people who are elected. They're just the representatives. Right. Am I getting an ad on my own? Thank you for the ads. Alright, hope everybody's liking the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. I'm kind of like done with my presentation. See it if somebody comes by. You don't have to. I mean, I'm doing great. Oh, that is so great. Oh, that's so great. Yeah. I kind of want to stay outside, guys, because in here it's way warmer than it is now on the balcony. Right, looks like the AI power grab in the big beautiful bill has been taken out of it, so that's good. It's a relief. Oh shit, they're trying a new COVID scare in Australia. Of course, nobody's gonna buy it. People have been inoculated against the PSYOP. Good. Glad to hear. They'll keep trying though. Like a pushy drug dealing doctor that's just like you already like, no, I don't trust you, and he's like, ah, come on, you really need it. Huh? No, thanks. Hello? Somebody in the chat? Huh? After an hour and 21 minutes, I mean, it's all great. Nice view? Yeah, I know. That's, yeah. Outside of the stone arch, I mean, that's not actually what it looks like outside. It looks outside like this. There's no mountains. But there are plenty of trees though, but not pine trees. Yeah, welcome to the Flat Earth Early Bird Show. I kinda done my thing. The subject. And I don't know, I'm just hanging around. I'm open for a conversation. But I'm gonna be hanging on the balcony regularly to catch the wind because it's really hot in here. It's really nice and refreshing outside. So, but I can see the chat, so right around the corner. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you're liking it. Oh, that's so great. NASA YouTube channel, every video has comments turned off. Oh, really? I guess it's just flat earthers now in there. That's been a problem for a while with their streams. Every single one. Yeah. No, flat earthers are just getting in their business all the time. The majority of their viewers are flat earthers that are just there to point out how it's all fake. Hey, Flat Earth Sage, good to see you. How you doing, man? Oh, by the way, if somebody gives me another $5 or something through the Rumble Super Chat, then I could actually cash it out again. I don't know, maybe like $3 would already be enough. But if anybody could spare a Super Chat in the Rumble, then yeah, that would be great. Pretty good trying to make it through this early morning shit. Right. How do you explain nuclear reactors? Yeah, that I don't see how nuclear reactors are like. I mean, concentrated radioactive material is still radioactive and it heats water. It still does that. There's just no critical mass explosions. Even though theoretically, if there was some kind of meltdown and enough of the molten down stuff gets together, it should logically create a chain reaction and then give a giant nuclear explosion. But that doesn't happen. What instead happens is that in that molten state, it can create a lot of hydrogen gas buildup, and that hydrogen gas can explode. And that's pretty devastating, by the way. It's a detonation type explosion that comes out of that. Hello, gravy show. 2 years since you got married. Oh, okay. Why are you saying that to yourself? Do you think Einstein was in on the scam? No. No, he's a theorist. I mean, mathematically, it should work. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, in this case, fortunately, math is not reality. Right? Just like, oh, if there's enough gravity, if there's enough mass, it'll implode in on itself and become a black hole. Yeah, that doesn't happen either. I know theoretically it should, in the math, but it doesn't. Thank God for that. Hey Mojo, good to see you. Didn't mean to send it to it. Okay. So yeah, super easy 99. No, I don't think Einstein was in on the scam. He thought it could be possible, but I mean, he was a theorist. I wonder if he probably was convinced that it was real. Split an atom, yet atom means indivisible. I don't know about that. Does atom mean indivisible? I don't know. Right? But I mean, I'm not even disagreeing that an atom could split or basically transform into something else because a component of it splits off with it in order to create that energy. I'm not saying that's not possible. It's just the idea that the splitting off can create a cascade, making other things split off, and that it would cause a chain reaction that would become so powerful it would all explode. That theory It's just wrong. It does not form a critical mass. Right, but I mean, when people are really like into it, like, oh no, this is real, and then nukes are real too, and then they'll try to explain, like, oh yeah, but the atom splits up and the energy comes out, and it's like, how do you know? Like, have you seen direct evidence that the amount of energy that comes out of there really is equivalent to how many of the atoms have transformed? And how did you figure that out? Because I mean, you probably have statistics that will tell you this is how much it should, but have you really actually tested it and then confirmed that? Or are you just trusting on the papers that were handed down, that they all did their job and were honest about it? And most people have not. Most people just, they have the statistics, they have the systems, and they just believe in it. And they know how to explain it. But they never truly confirmed whether it really works the way it's supposed to. People are very easily satisfied. They just know something. They don't need to necessarily know if it really works. They just need to know that it will be accepted as working. And then they trust it. Because it's much more difficult and requires some real tenacity to really, like, totally prove things. Actually prove them. It's more difficult. And often almost not really worth the energy that you'd have to invest in it. Energy and time. So the center of the world is Eden? What? What? So, who are you? Gravy show. CERN been trying to make black hole. Yeah, the strangelets. Oh, the stranger, they could make us strange. No, the idea of finding specific subatomics is ridiculous. It's all super volatile. Whenever they supposedly split atoms with the Hadron Collider, what they don't really like to tell you is that the actual thing happening lasts maybe like 100,000th of a second. Like, and they think that's impressive. They think that, oh, we can have this thing consistently 100,000ths of a second. And then, yeah, one day we'll have it continuously. Right. No, you won't. It's ridiculous. If it can be cut, then it wouldn't be the smallest form of matter. Yeah, but I mean, it's already kind of accepted it isn't. But I mean, to say splitting it is not even fair, Flatter Sage. It's not literally being split. It's not like one atom and then another, like two atoms come out of it. No, it's rather, it's an atom and a subatomic aspect of it gets detached, and then that slightly alters its atomic makeup. That's the idea behind it. The splitting atoms is just that physicality assumption bias way of looking at it. It's like, you got an atom and then it splits and you cut it in half, and like now it's something else. Like, it's just visualization assistant. It's not really splitting. It's just a micro aspect of it gets detached, and that transforms its properties into being slightly different material. It's more like transmutation through microelement evacuation. In a way, it's a chemical reaction, but it's not directly being pulled by another atom, so it doesn't classify as a chemical reaction, because a chemical reaction is always the interaction of one material with another, and it's not. It's just evacuate, like a part of it becomes detached, goes out, and that transforms the atom. That's really the idea. Hadron isn't a power station. Okay. Well, it does have a lot of energy though. It does have a big power source. It's like a gigantic magnet. It's probably like the biggest electromagnet in the world. Man-made, at least. Mm. Hope everybody's having a great day and you're liking this discussion. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. Right? Oof. It's not as hot in here as it was a half an hour ago, but it's still pretty damn warm. North Pole, the center of the world. No, I don't think so. I think we're in a looping system and there is no center. You could argue of the known realm, the equator line is the center. That's it. But there's no real physical, literal central point geographically. Right? I mean, the flat Earth disk map is a projection in which it is assumed that Polaris is literally above a point in Euclidean space, which would be the center. That's how that projection works. It's not proven that Polaris is a light that literally hovers above one singular point on Earth. Large Hadron Collider is bad news. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I think it's creating a lot of superstition. That's what I know it does. Woo. Thanks for the Rogans, guys. I'm gonna stand on the balcony a little bit more. To create portals in counter space. Oh yes, portals in counter space. In the ether. Yeah, I mean, Platter Sage, that stuff is just, it's superstitious nonsense. Like, what are they really doing? They're messing with magnetics. And who knows what the hell that all does. Like, that can have influences that we don't really understand on all kinds of things, on fault lines, on the weather, on who knows, like maybe it influences people's mindset. But I mean, how the hell do you prove that? Like, I've heard of times when it supposedly got fired up and like I absolutely didn't even notice it. Like, not even close. And supposedly it's not even too far away from me. Just the... what is it? Like 500 miles or something? Just absolutely no difference. They have footage of counter space. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you really believe in something, your inner world, like the dark world, is a simulator. It can show you the things the way that you think of them. Yeah. That's the thing about inner simulation. It can actually sim anything, including things that you think are real but aren't. Becomes your reality by believing in it. And then until you personally figure out that it's not real and you let it go, which is painful, if you don't do that, then the illusion will make itself a part of your reality and you don't spot it. You don't spot how that part is fake. Paris is a prone to flats. Why? I don't care. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I don't have any problems with whatever measurement or thing in the flat earth. Like, literally none. The only problem I have is that I've come to the point where just to be honest and responsible and give room for growth, I have to admit, like, there's all these things that I just do not know. Things that I would love to have had an answer on, but I don't. But I still have ideas about how it could be and how you could prove it. That part is always very important to me. You could have any idea, like just like counter space with ether, and it's like, oh, cool, man. Yeah, I mean, mathematically works out, dude. Totally works, man. Just like Newtonian gravity works. Mathematically. Cool. You could use it. But you can never prove it, though. You just have, it's just a presupposition, and then the math works, and that's it. There's no tangible varying and manipulating of the independent variable, etc. You never do that. You just assume it. So there's something there, and it works. But the model that is given about what that is cannot be proven. Like, tangibly with the scientific method. And that's why I can't accept it. If something is gloriously mathematical and it encompasses and it explains a whole bunch of things, but it cannot be tangibly proven, then I cannot accept it. as a real tangible thing. Right, but the mind always wants to find some unified thing that explains everything. People want it, so even if they can't prove something, if it just explains a bunch of things to their own satisfaction, they will accept it as real. And they are not so much concerned with testing whether it's foundationally correct or not, physically. The math works, it's good enough for them. Well, it's not good enough for me. I want any ideas I have to be falsifiable. That is, you must be able to test whether it is true or not. What? Okay, that's totally unnecessary. Creates visible. Yeah, absolutely. The conception, it's a flash of light, a flash of God. It's the spark of God. The thing that cannot be artificially created, cannot be synthesized. Let us say, yeah, it's one of those great mysteries. To me, what that actually represents is, it's the, how I see it, that flash actually is God basically like sewing a spirit with like the first thread to the life. It's the first connection, like it's, the soul gets connected to and resonated with, attuned to that formal life, flesh. And then spirit still on the other side, connected, eventually will be able to actually integrate and wake up in the connected form. And that flash of light with the original impregnation, right? That's the first connection. It's like when God ties the spirit to the flesh. That's how I think of that. Very magical. VIN number? I don't know what that is, Flatter's Edge. Right, hope everybody is enjoying the show. I certainly am. I'm very happy I hung around. Because the chat is buzzing. It's great. Thanks for being there. Oh God. Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna. Hey, you might have a question. You have a question about my holograms? Why don't you show up with a not troll sock account and I'll discuss it. Yeah, if anybody actually wants to know, how do you falsify hologram? I mean, I have literally discussed it hundreds of times in the last decade. Hundreds of times. So you should, with your collection of Arwin clips, right? The giant database of that horse shit, you should already know the answer. Unless you just don't have the faculties to actually take the explanation in, and then it's just jibba jabba to you. And then there's no point in trying to actually explain it again anyway. For looping Earth. You follow the equator line and you measure it related, compare the celestial position, right? Re-establish the GPs at the equator all the way. And then, well, you should have a result of what that actually means geometrically on the Earth's surface. I think it's going to be a straight line and not a circle. But that's how you falsify that, by figuring out the equator span. What the actual orientation is, that's how you falsify that. And let's just say, if you're gonna do this scouting, the scouting on Earth, and figure out the equator's orientation and everything, and it turns out that celestial north, south, east, and west are cardinal directions, well, then there is no other conceivable way that the Earth would not be looping. If you can go west and then end up back where you were. No, but in for hologram, okay. Put forth like it's a fact. Yeah, no, I do put forth that it's a fact because any trace of evidence that proves that it is a physical thing in a physical location within the realm's confine. Like, all of the data proves that's not the case. So I rest on the alternative conception of what these light manifestations could be alternatively, which are holograms. Because there's literally no other logical alternative to turn to. Unless you could think of some, but you won't. What you'll just do is say, like, no, it's going to be a physical thing anyway. That's the only direction you'll take, because you won't let go of the physicality assumption bias about it, about the celestial lights, despite all the data that proves that they are not. Angles not lining up, all that. So that's why I rest at the perspective of, no, celestial lights are holograms. Based on the totality of missing evidence, missing data that would prove the contrary, namely that it is a physical thing in an actual location. There is no such evidence. I rest at the celestial lights being holograms. That's what's behind that. You don't have to like it. Right. And if you want to disprove it, you could disprove it. You could disprove that they're holograms by proving that they are indeed light emanating objects at specific locations and have things like perspective and inverse square law of light apply. And that would prove it's physical and not a hologram. I would have gone with that if there was any such evidence, but there isn't. Yeah. So yeah, it's falsifiable. Again, celestial lights being holograms is falsifiable. If it's not true, then you would be able to prove that it's something else. I heard it, noted. Okay, whatever. Yeah. So just to compare it again with ether, you could never prove that it wouldn't be energy on the other side because there's nothing to falsify it with. It's just a concept. Celestial lights being a hologram could definitely be disproven if it were not the case. It's falsifiable. That's how it's not equated with ether. It's falsifiable. Just like the realm being a looping confine is falsifiable. If it was not the case, you can definitely prove it. Falsifiable. Now, that's the standard that I have. I don't come up with ideas that are just gonna float in people's imaginations and nobody would ever even think of, like, you know what? He might be wrong. But yeah, we couldn't. How would you prove that he's wrong? I don't know. We can't. Okay. Well, I like the idea of it, so I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna believe this. Okay, that's what a lot of people do. I don't do that. I want to have my ideas, and I want to titillate people with it to actually realize, like, no, this could be true, and if it could also not be true, and we can find out. It's way more interesting to me. Is it possible to find out whether it's true or not? Oh my god, here we go again. Yeah, no. Ridiculous. Yeah, you can. Oh, can you? Oh, really? But you don't, though. There's no demonstration of that either. Yeah. Dude, I could just walk to the moon. Cool. Right? I'm gonna just tell you, I could just walk to the moon from here. I'm not gonna demonstrate it. Right? I'm gonna say, like, how am I gonna do it? And I can just do it. But I mean, I won't actually do it though. Because then it would be obvious that it doesn't work and it's ridiculous. Huh? But you can bounce that radio wave off the moon. Sure you can. Right? And I'm sure that when you aim your signal at the moon, it's gonna return, and then you aim it not at the moon and it's not gonna return. I'm sure that's what really happens. I'm sure somebody actually demonstrated that on camera. Oh wait, no, they did not. Just a lot of people come over at Flat Earthers and just say we can bounce a radio signal off the moon. That's how we know it's physical. None of them have done it. None of them have actually seen a demonstration where the signal bouncing is very manipulating by the direction of sending the signal. There's no actual evidence that that's real. It's literally a myth. And the myth started by NASA, or those people. Somebody outside of NASA might have started. Who knows? They adopted it. Gonna need a flat earth. Oh god, don't even get me started about that. It's just the people bouncing radio waves. Dude, it's happened so many times. I mean, Flat Earth Sage probably has witnessed at least 10 different people in the course of watching the early bird shows bring that forth and not bring actual evidence. Because everybody out there does that. I have a radio bound signal story, it's amazing. Nobody does it though. Not really. And I'd like to point that out. I'm gonna need evidence for that. Yeah, you're definitely gonna need evidence that you can bounce radio waves off that moon with the signal return. You're gonna actually need evidence for that. And you don't have it, and you're not gonna do it. But I'm sure that at a later time you will come back. Whenever somebody says it's a hologram, it's not physical, you're gonna say this thing again. You can bounce your radio signal, and you still will not have actually done it. Or have found real, tangible evidence. Somebody pointing it at the moon, getting a signal return, not pointing it at the moon, and then no signal return. Because you pointed it away from the moon. Nobody's done that. Nobody's gonna do that. You know why? Because it won't work. And then the myth of it will be spoiled, will be revealed to be a lie all this time. And then you can't use it anymore as a rebuttal when somebody tells you it's a hologram. You'd rather just believe it's true and not test it. Right? Meat curtains? bounce competitions are a thing for... Yeah, oh, I'm sure. But, I mean, no demonstrations, though. You could have a yearly moon bounce gathering of all the enthusiasts that all say that they bounce signals to the moon and not actually doing it, not proving it. But they could come together and boast about how they're part of the club that claims they do it and don't. Yeah. Just like people are a real big fan of satellites, and they'll keep claiming that they shoot off with rockets and float up there, and they don't. But they have clubs of it, I'm sure. Satellite clubs? Probably. They're probably out there. Plenty of demonstrations. Oh, really? Well, I haven't seen any, though. I don't dismiss anything, I just haven't seen anything. Kids can do it? Oh, really? Show me a kid doing it, then. No, you're not gonna show anybody doing anything. You're just gonna try to gaslight me. It's so easy. You're just stupid. You just don't want to know. Like, yeah, but you're not gonna do it. A kid isn't gonna do it. You're not gonna demonstrate anybody doing it. It's just a myth. And you're not gonna gaslight me with that horse shit. Show us God again here. You're just a lying asshole. Low underground tunnels. Project Diana. Oh, the government did it. Well, that just proves everything. Cool. But people's kid can do it with the ham radio, though. But then they don't really do it. But we could definitely trust the government that they did it. I mean, it's not like they faked the moon landing or anything. Right? They don't have any reason to make people believe something is real when it isn't. They never lie. Right? I mean, I saw it in the 3 body problem. Yeah, communist China, that person did it. They bounced the signal. And all this other stuff happened. I mean, that looked so real, right? The looking at giant satellite dish thing outside, computers, pushing a button, and it's doing it. I mean, that means the signal bounce is real because it was part of the story in the three-body problem. Right? You just assume, well, of course it's possible. We're gonna write it into the plot. Yeah. Is somebody actually gonna do it? No. Ah. Right, and when they originally supposedly do that, I mean, signal bouncing off the moon, it was probably a cover story for them figuring out the confines of what's up there. Right? I mean, I'm not denying that radio signals can and would logically bounce back down. Why? Because there's containment. There's a container wall there, up there at some point. Things are gonna bounce back. Yeah. But is it bouncing off a celestial body or the container wall? Yeah, you'd have to very manipulate the direction of the signal from right towards the celestial body to not towards the celestial body, and then see a massive difference. I bet the signal's always going to rebound at the same, wherever you're going to point it. Because it's contained. It should bounce back. And somebody's drilling in the wall. What a timing. But yeah, thank you for the reference, Underground Tunnels. Good to see you. Hope everybody's enjoying the show. It's getting a bit flat Earth versus globe again. And I'm really sorry if that doesn't like rattle my cage and just make me, oh, let's go at it. Because I've already had, it's like just no new things. I don't get confronted with new arguments. It's always the same. Got handed evidence. No, that's not evidence of any little kid can do it. Yeah? Why don't you demonstrate that? Yeah? Somebody, the government from 90 years ago claimed they have done it is not evidence for what you said. Now, you said anybody can do it. Why didn't you demonstrate that then? What, the government claimed to have done something 90 years ago and that's good enough for you? Really? You think you're gonna go back to the moon too soon? Whew. Yeah, I mean, you can't just start gaslighting me and saying, oh, any kid can do it. Not show that, and then say that something that government claimed to have done 90 years ago is sufficient evidence. I mean, that just shows that you're full of shit. You like to gaslight about how things are super simple, you don't demonstrate it, and you rest your case at a government claim from 90 years ago. I mean, that's very telling as to what your standards are. Evidence for container. Oh, are you serious? It's natural law, baby. Can't have gas pressure without a container. Any gas pressure gradient that forms within the available volume is going to take the proportions of the available volume. And since the gas pressure is divided in a certain way that we can measure here, one would have to conclude that the container wall cannot be that high up. Because if it would be 100 billion light years away, well then the gas pressure would not gradiate the way it does. Under any circumstances, no matter the forces that are applied. Even if you create man-made forces to do that, it doesn't work. Gas pressure will always take proportions and gradiate out, depending on the conditions, in relation to the available volume of the container. Oh, you could do it! Oh, a kid can over again! Yeah, but you're not gonna demonstrate it though. You just keep saying it. Your kid can do it. Maybe yell it. And that'll make it real. Just yell it. Kid can do it with a ham radio. But you're not gonna demonstrate it though. You're just gonna reiterate the bluff. It's been repeated. Oh really? You're believing this too, underground tunnels? Really? Are you gonna demonstrate it though? It's possible to, I'm sure it's possible to test, but I think there's not a lot of demonstrations that show it to, oh, my satisfactory or anybody else that's really critical thinking, because it just shows the signal rebounds no matter what, whether you point it at some celestial body or not. Pretty sure of that, otherwise you just have these videos. Look at me point at it. Look at me point at that moon right there. See? Signal return. Oh, look at me pointing it away. And no signal return. Signal return. See? I'm pointing it at that moon that's on the screen. No, there's no demonstration of this. And I've addressed that in detail. What would be required to give a sufficient demonstration to make any kind of case, especially if a kid supposedly is able to do it. And nobody has done that. Not a single person, including globe enthusiasts that have supposed radios that brag about how it's possible. None of them have actually taken the effort, despite all their wealth, to show a real demonstration. So I'm sick of even trying to call these people out for that. They never actually demonstrate. They just gaslight you with, oh, the kid can do it. Yeah, but you're not going to show it though, right? Why? Because there is no video of such a thing. It's just a rumor. Oh, it's so easy, a kid could do it. Yeah, but you're not going to show it though. I gotta put this in the title. No, it's like the 100th time subject. So thank you for bringing that up. And now it's in the title. Man, the weather's just great out there. I'm getting really hungry. Yeah. I guess some people just, they don't get it even when you just shove it in their face. Even when I put the title in, you're still doing it. It doesn't work, dude. You're just gaslighting yourself at this point. Just chanting. Yeah, it's getting a lot more pleasant in here. Right, I hope everybody appreciates the show. Getting a bit into flat earth here. Everything that's involved with that. Don't forget to Roguns it up if you're liking it. And hey, maybe you have some tangible evidence of a moon signal rebound where you actually see the celestial body you're supposedly bouncing a signal off on screen as you do it. Aim at it, see the signal return, then not aim at it, aim away from it, and then not see the signal return. Hey, if you have a demonstration of that, it's not secretly inside of some building prepped for that, but provably outside, hey, then I'd love to see that. I've never seen it. Not one time. 10 years. It's plenty of people with radio equipment and the ability to do that, claiming any kid could do it. Nobody demonstrated it. Because there is no demonstration of it. It's just a myth. Government reinforced myth. Right, and with that I'm gonna round out the show. So thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked the show. I thought it went great. Great show today. Very informative, that first part about how the new conspiracy probably works and the real surreal mind control complications of all of it. I'm very fascinated about those ideas. I don't know about you, but I am, and we'll see. Right? And of course the radio moon signal rebounds again. It's always a reoccurring thing, always some baller coming in and oh yeah, and you can do it. I mean, you think that's the first time I've heard that? Everybody says they can do it, nobody shows it. In 10 years. Right. Anyway, if you like the show, don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below, or send me a super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I could really use like another super chat, $5 or something, because then I could cash it out. So yeah, any support would be greatly appreciated. Right, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2336 on a Thursday. Hope to see you all then. Everybody have a great rest of the day. If it's really hot where you're at, like here, make sure to stay hydrated. Don't get a heat stroke. Also, remember to get some salt into your system, right? A bit of salt helps you retain the water and regulate the water better, and need minerals to deal with what the sun does with your skin. So, not just hydrated, also mineralized. I mean, especially if you're gonna like take showers multiple times a day, you need to stay stocked up on the minerals, because just water, eventually you're gonna piss out all the minerals, and you need those. You need those for like skin repair and all that. Keep that in mind too. Electrolytes and all that. Right. So everybody have a great rest of the day. Keep it cool and keep it flat.